United Church in West Bay.
For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. Doctor's Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. Kirk Market, experience a world of choice. JN Money, from abroad to Yad. And Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
We ask our listeners and viewers to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Live from Radio Cayman Studio.
This is For the Record with ORRETT Connor.
Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the Record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
With ORRETT Connor.
Informative, impartial, insightful. This is For the Record. And now, your host, ORRETT.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees so fair. Today is Friday, the 12th day of September 2025, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. We do hope and we trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable evening. Those of you who are on our roads, we urge you to please be extremely cautious, whether you're a pedestrian, a cyclist, or if you're operating any type of motorized vehicle. Please ensure that you observe the rules of the road, because the life you save may just be your own. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, or if you've celebrated one over the past few days, we want to wish you a happy birthday or a happy belated birthday, whichever is applicable. And to remind you that the For the Record birthday shoutouts are brought to you by Coca-Cola, who are proud to support your birthday shoutouts. Coca-Cola available across the Cayman Islands. Accept no substitutes. Share a Coke with someone special. Those of you who have lost loved ones, again, we want to extend our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing. Those of you who are ill and are either at home or at a medical facility here in the Cayman Islands or overseas, we wish you a speedy recovery as well. So let's look at our birthday shout-outs. First, this person wants to send birthday greetings to their wife. Actually, this was sent yesterday, and the wife's birthday was yesterday, but they realized that the birthday shout-outs are on Friday, so they've asked us to share it today. And it says, to my darling wife, happy birthday and blessings for many more, with love from your husband, children, Rebecca, Mali, and Joe, and your cutie grandson, Jalen, as well. What I don't have, and I tried to obtain this morning, but sent a WhatsApp message back to them asking for the wife's name as well. And when we do get that, but I'm sure that she will recognize the fact that our children, Rebecca, Mali, and Joe, and her cutie grandson, Jalen, as well. Let's look at other birthdays for today. These are all for tomorrow. So Miss Stephanie Brooks will be celebrating a birthday tomorrow. Benton Connolly also celebrating a birthday tomorrow. Miss Dorothy Davies Davis celebrating a birthday tomorrow. Damian Charles also celebrating a birthday. Effie Colon tomorrow on the 14th, on Sunday. Effie Colon. Jen Dixon also on the 14th. Miss Jocelyn Marshall, next door neighbor to my parents. Miss Jocelyn Marshall celebrating her birthday on the 14th as well, right? 14th as well, over there in Tropical Gardens. Miss Winsome Hill celebrating a birthday tomorrow on the 14th. Winsome Hill as well. If you know someone who's celebrating a birthday or any other momentous occasion, please share that information with us, and we will give them a shout out here on For the Record as well. And we saw that on the 11th, yesterday, Berman Scott celebrated his birthday. Susie Colbert also celebrated a birthday, and Mitzi Scott celebrated a birthday as well. And then someone wanted to wish Derek Parson, Woody DaCosta, Micah Whitaker, and Vicky Wheaton a happy birthday also. And I believe that would have been on, was that Wednesday as well, but not sure what date also. So, For the Record, birthday shout-outs brought to you by Coca-Cola. So we have the correction now to the lady whose husband sent the birthday greetings, her children, and coming from her husband and children, Rebecca, Mally, and Joe, as well as the cute grandson, Jalen. Her name is Lisa, and they asked me if I could repeat in the next 5 minutes as well. So, yes, hopefully she's listening in now. If not, then we will give her a shout out when we return from the 8 o'clock news as well. So, birthday greetings going out to Lisa, coming from her husband, children, Rebecca, Mally, Joe, and cutie grandson, Jalen, as well. So, folks, with that, it is my pleasure to have in the studio none other. He has now been renamed the Action Man, as well. I don't know if it's Action Man 2, Action Man 1, none other than Minister J. Ebanks. He is in the studio with us. He is the minister responsible for planning, lands, agriculture, housing, and infrastructure. But he is currently also the acting deputy premier and also covering all of the deputy premier's portfolio responsibilities as well. So, without any further ado, Minister J, acting deputy premier, good morning. Welcome back to For the Record.
Good morning, OC. Good morning, Grand Kiman, Kiman Brat, Little Kiman. Hope everybody is having a wonderful morning, starting off with a wonderful morning. I'm happy to be here with you, always happy to engage with the audience, and always happy to keep them up to date on what's happening when it comes to the behind the scenes and anything that the government has going on, especially anything that's under my ministry. So we're happy to be here with you. Also, to let you know that, and I think you may already know, but my colleague, Minister DaCosta, will be with me today too at 9 o'clock.
Yes.
To join me. I'm happy to have him on board with me.
Okay. Can we start the conversation off then by talking about the undersea internet cable modernization process? Extremely important for the Cayman Islands in terms of our connectivity, because we have so many international businesses operating here in the Cayman Islands, as well as, our local businesses.
Yes, OC. Thank you for bringing that up. Cabinet has just blessed the cabinet paper now, so that we can move on to the next phase of the sea cable. And now we're going to go out to an RFP now to be able to go out to look at and see and test the waters to actually see what this is going to look like in the costing going forward. It is in OC, it is a critical infrastructure through the country. A lot of people may not realize that, but you know, we're on 2 cables now, which are really getting to their life cycle of span. Where, but again, the cable can go on longer. It's just there's no guarantee how much longer. So yes, the country has been looking at, and the government's been looking at, is going and putting in a new modernization of a new fiber cable to the island. It will be looking at doing a triple P, a private partnership, with with whoever that successful person is, or company is. Sorry, we look forward to in a few months be able to see what that is. We know there's about at least maybe 3, maybe 4 cables that are being built that will be coming down through the Caribbean. And we're hoping that once we put this out, we will be able to see what's going on, how the activity actually is looking. You know, there's definitely some players out there that's already told us that they will be participating in this and hoping they can be the successful winner in this bids. So we'll continue to work it out and continue to go on through, and then we'll be able to, I guess in a few months we'll be able to see the exact costing of this, what it's going to cost the government and the people of the Cayman Islands. Also, I know one of the questions that I usually get from a lot of people is they ask, how is this going to make their lives better? OC, this cable really is about keeping the Cayman Islands connected to the world and making sure that we have fast reliability, but also have a more modern infrastructure when it comes to the network that we have here today. There is going to be in the looks of it, where I don't know if you've seen maybe in the recent papers where the company that owns the Maya 1 cable that we're actually on right now will be making some changes to the Maya 1 cable, and they're going to be calling it Maya 1, I think 1-2 or something like that now. And going forward now, whereas only the Cayman Islands and Honduras will actually be on that cable. Mexico and the other countries, Panama and I think Colombia and those that are on there is going to be coming off of that cable. But the company has reassured us that they will continue to maintain the cable. They're not just going to shut it all completely down. There's a reassurance there for a few years on the maintenance on that, and by that time we should be at our new additional infrastructure in place, and I'll be able to use this Maya 1 as a backup cable in case anything happens for redundancy, and also looking at making sure that we're connecting a section of the cable over to the BRAC also.
Okay, great. Folks, we have to take a commercial break. When we return, the conversation with Minister J. Ebanks, who is also acting Deputy Premier and responsible for all of the responsibilities that fall under the Deputy Premier's portfolio as well. The conversation will continue as soon as we return from this commercial break. Please stay tuned.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, he hath founded it upon the seas.
Edward Raib Arch, MBE, 1915-1980.
Pastor Raib was the son of James Heber Arch and his wife, Virginia Nee Thompson. He contributed greatly to the spiritual and educational development of the community of Georgetown through many years of devotion to the work of the Church of God and Truth for Youth School. He was a boat builder. As a young boy, he worked on the gold field, and he designed and built the Neria, and a building contractor. He served for 9 years as deputy chairman of the Immigration Board. He and his wife, Laurel Valloni Nee Bodden, had 7 children.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way, positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
When a hurricane hits, unexpected costs can add up fast. Homeowners are usually out of pocket for these costs to get supplies or make minor repairs. But with Cineco's parametric coverage, you get automatic payouts within 2 to 3 weeks after a Category 3 or stronger storm, whether or not you have damage. Available only through Cineco Homeowners Insurance. Call 949-8101 or visit Cineco.ky for a quote. That's Cineco.ky to get a quote today. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our Custom Closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
This summer, happiness is better when you share it. Coca-Cola invites you to share a Coke with someone special. Grab an ice-cold Coke and find a name. Maybe theirs, maybe yours, maybe a surprise. Because nothing says you matter like sharing a smile and a Coke. So who will you share a Coke with today? Find your name, find your friends, and share a Coke. Available now. Stores island-wide.
Did you know that HPV, or human papillomavirus, is known to cause certain types of cancer? HPV is spread through skin-to-skin contact and easy to contract. The HPV vaccine is our best protection against HPV-related cancers. It is safe for children and youth ages 9 and up, and for those under the age of 25, all it takes is a single dose. It's time to arm against cancer, Cayman. Get the HPV vaccine today. For more information on where to get vaccinated, contact the Public Health Department on 244-2648 or 244-2889.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. For those of you who are just joining us, it's my pleasure to have in the studio with me this morning Minister J. Ebanks, whose portfolio responsibilities include planning, lands, agriculture, housing, and infrastructure, but he is also the acting Deputy Premier and covering the Deputy Premier's portfolio during this period as well. So acting Deputy Premier has been talking about the undersea internet cable modernization. He has spoken about the benefits to the public that this upgrade will bring to the people of the Cayman Islands. So next question, Minister, would be how do you plan on keeping, and we know that you, on For the Record, talk today on Radio Cayman shows, you have press releases that go out as well, your plans for keeping the public informed as each milestone is reached during this process.
Thank you, OC. I can tell you one of the things, I really have a good communication team within our ministry, and they are well equipped and able to keep the public up to date on everything that's going on. So as steps continue to move forward with everything that we move forward into the direction of where we need to be and where we need to continue to going, and updates that will be headed to Parliament, we will definitely be keeping the people up to date with every direction, every step that we make forward. You'll definitely see things coming out from my communication team within my ministry to be able to keep the Cayman Islands and all of our individuals, and definitely the private sector, which I know are from the financial service world. I know this is something that they would love to see happen also, and want to make sure that we always have that redundancy there. So we work carefully with everybody just to make sure that they're all up to date on what's happening. So just after we get to the next step of this RFP now to see what's happening and where, and once we update cabinet, then we'll be able to do another release on where we're at with the next direction. Okay, we have about 3 minutes before we go to our 8 o'clock news. I think we have enough time to talk about the soft opening of the little bypass that goes to Agricola Drive from the Newlands area as well. And we know that it has already been impactful in terms of movement of traffic. I believe you used it this morning as well. Yes. Yes, OC, I actually used it this morning, and I think I really... it shows that it's actually working because of the time frame that I was able to get here to the studio, but able to get around a lot of the traffic from the Savannah points, pinpoints that are really hindering us still. And, I think a lot of people don't realize or probably haven't remembered about that opening of that side road, and we were able to move through, and I didn't hit any traffic until I was back up to just maybe around just about Christy Thompson's roundabout. It was a straight shot, and yesterday afternoon I actually turned around in traffic and went back to Christy Thompson roundabout to actually take that bypass. Okay. And I was able to. It was a straight shot all the way down to till I got about maybe 100 yards, 150 yards from Mr. Mario Rankin's yard, and then it was straight on in. Outside, I was able to bypass a lot of the pinch points in Savannah.
Do you think it would be useful? I have observed, and I know it is all temporary, but I think what would be helpful also, if you're heading southeast on there, that means going towards Agricola Drive,
right?
That all the traffic should be directed towards a left turn rather than a right turn, because if they are allowed to make a right turn now, it's going to tie up traffic in that area. You're not going to have that free flow, of traffic. So is it possible to temporarily just say, those that you must go east rather than?
Yeah, everything is possible to do. I will actually take a note of it and carry it back to Edward, and they can actually run the models and see whether it's something that they will actually make a meaningful difference. I know that the transition of the roundabout that's supposed to be there isn't going to be able to happen as quickly because we have to work with CUC, and I think one of the main poles that are in that location is they just can't move just that one particular pole. They have to move a few to make this actual work. So we're going to have to work with them with some time frames on them to be when they can actually be able to figure out the time and how they can actually move. And once moving poles isn't just taking a pole up and moving it, right? And we have to get permission from every landowner to be able to sign away leave for us to be able to put a pole back into their property. So all of that work has to be done, and then the CUC identifies how they're going to move the poles, because when you look, I think from what I understand is that you just can't move one single pole without moving 2, 3, or 4 poles because of how the guide wires and how the wires run.
Right, and the tension.
And the tension on them. So, so for right now, there is going to be a transition of a temporary roundabout until the official roundabout could be actually done. But I'll make a note of that to maybe, and I know the NRA team is probably listening also to the show. So we'll make a note and see how it works, and if it's something that they think is feasible, that it'll make a difference, we'll look at putting it in place.
Certainly. Folks, we've reached the top of the hour, 8 o'clock news. When we return, the conversation will continue with Minister J. Ebanks, and also remember that Minister Nickolas DaCosta will be joining us at 9 o'clock as well. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
Thank you, Mr. Connor. And studio time by Foster's is a minute after 8.
When you're on the go, the experienced team at Foster's Pharmacy are here to help. Drop off your prescription while you shop or WhatsApp us and we'll prepare it, ready for your arrival.
Whether you need prescription or over-the-counter medications, blood glucose testing, or advice on vitamins and supplements, we're here early in the morning to late at night. Both of our locations at our Camana Bay and airport stores are open 7 a.m. to 9 p.m., Monday to Saturday.
For more info, visit fosters.ky/pharmacy. Foster's Pharmacy. Better health because we care.
Since 1976.
Covering Grand Cayman, no Cayman, Cayman right. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. A man found guilty of stabbing another man to death in 2023 heads to the Court of Appeal to challenge his conviction. Radio Cayman's Jevy Ebanks has more on the case surrounding the death of Randy Robinson.
Sean Antonio Jackson was sentenced to 31 years in prison for murder and an additional 4 years for wounding with intent, to be served concurrently. The incident occurred in the early hours of the 5th of May during a birthday party at a nightclub. Jackson, armed with a 12-inch knife, stabbed Robinson 5 times in his heart, chest, and stomach, leaving him fatally wounded on the ground. The attack was described by the court as deliberate and vicious, with the trial judge, Justice Marlene Carter, stating that Jackson demonstrated a clear intent to kill and made no attempt to assist the victim afterward. Jackson also attacked another man who later became the prosecution's key witness. That victim testified that Jackson and his co-defendant, Jonathan Alexander Woodhouse, had threatened him, saying he was not leaving the party alive. The court heard that Robinson was not the original target, but Jackson escalated the violence, departing from the initial confrontation to fatally stabbing Robinson. During the original trial, Jackson was represented by Greg Burke, who instructed Ben Tonner KC, now serving as an acting justice in the judiciary. At the appeals hearing on Thursday, Jackson appeared without legal representation, informing the courts that he tried but failed to secure representation. In response, the Court of Appeals adjourned the matter to allow more time for Jackson to get legal assistance. The case is expected to return to the appellate court dock in its October sitting. Jevi Ebanks, Radio Cayman News.
Common assault and dangerous driving. A woman is facing the BRAC summary court in December. Chantel Trench has pled not guilty to assault, but accepted the careless driving charge, which was reduced from the original dangerous driving allegation. The original incident, which involved another woman, happened in the BRAC where they both live. Trench is on bail pending trial. In other news, the call is out for the country's future leaders as the Cayman Islands branch of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association plans to host the 19th Youth Parliament program.
Today, we are here to grade the government's performance on the most critical subjects of national survival.
Students will debate a government motion, a private member's motion, or a bill, which are pre-selected and written by the students themselves when they head to Parliament on Commonwealth Day in March. Kids between 15 and 18 from schools across the country are invited to participate, where they will learn about the parliamentary practices and procedures, standing orders, and the roles of members of Parliament. The deadline to submit your application is September 25th. For more information, head to parliament.ky. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which takes us out of the newscast.
BBC News with Fiona MacDonald. In the past half hour, President Trump has said he believes that the suspect in the shooting of the Conservative activist Charlie Kirk is in custody. Mr. Trump told Fox News, "I think we have him." He said it seemed someone had turned the suspect in. The US has threatened to respond after Brazil's Supreme Court found the former president, Jair Bolsonaro, guilty of plotting a coup and sentenced him to 27 years in prison. President Trump said the judgment was very bad for Brazil. A UN investigation has found that increasing numbers of North Koreans have been executed over the past 10 years or are being forced to work in often dangerous conditions. The UN says the government now tightly controls all aspects of its citizens' lives. Israel has intensified its military offensive in Gaza City, issuing a fresh evacuation order. Thousands of people have already fled the city, but many more are reluctant to leave. The Netherlands has threatened to boycott next year's Eurovision Song Contest if Israel is allowed to participate. Ireland, Slovenia and Spain have also said they will withdraw from the competition in protest against Israel's war in Gaza. Poland, Lithuania and Latvia are on high alert as Russia and Belarus begin a 5-day joint military exercise. NATO says it does not see any immediate threat from the drills. Russia says it has destroyed more than 200 Ukrainian drones overnight, one of the highest figures since the beginning of the invasion. Moscow also said its troops had captured a village in Ukraine's Dnipropetrovsk region. BBC News.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Marriage is a journey worth investing in. On Saturday, September 20th, join author, coach, and speaker, Mr. Wesley Jones from Panama, for a life-changing marriage workshop at the Intergenerational Hub, Old Woods Furniture Store behind Airport Fosters. Discover tips on how to continue loving in your marriage, strengthen your bond, and inspire the next generation that marriage works. Enjoy breakfast at 10 a.m., followed by a powerful workshop and question and answer session. Space is limited. RSVP as soon as possible. Call 916-6182. A Kimpton gift certificate is up for grabs for the person inviting the most couples. This is a free event. Strong marriages build strong families, and strong families build strong communities.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit caymanairways.com/cargo.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
RC Fusion is proudly brought to you by TCE Paint Shop, Farmers and Artisans Retail Market, and My Candle Cleaners. RC Fusion, weekdays 10 a.m. to 12 midday, right here on Radio Cayman 89.9.
RC Fusion.
Radio Cayman Energy.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Britcay, where people come first.
Good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 86 degrees. Relative humidity is 84%. The barometric pressure, 29.92 inches and rising. The wind is east at 3 knots. Overnight low temperature was 81 degrees. Synopsis indicate decreasing winds are expected throughout this morning, eventually becoming light and variable from this afternoon in association with a slight pressure gradient over the northwest Caribbean. As a result of these decreasing winds and lingering moisture, some late afternoon showers are likely today. Radar imagery show isolated showers in and around the Cayman area, moving towards the west-southwest. The forecast for today calling for mainly sunny with some cloudy spells at times and a 30% chance of showers and possible thunder later this afternoon, and temperatures will be in the low 90s with a heat index near 106 degrees Fahrenheit. Your winds will be east to southeast, 5 knots or less, becoming light and variable from this afternoon. Seas will be smooth with wave heights of less than 2 feet. Tonight, mainly clear skies with a 30% chance of showers and possible thunder early tonight, and temperatures falling to the low 80s. Winds will be light and variable tonight, and seas will be smooth with wave heights of less than 2 feet. Today's high tide will occur this afternoon at 1:33 and a low tide again tonight at 7:51. Sunset 6:29, sunrise 6:13, and the outlook is calling for similar weather conditions through Monday morning. And that's the very latest on your weather report.
Hey folks, thanks for your patience. We'll be taking off very shortly. Should be wheels up in about 40 minutes. And due to a bumpy ride, snacks and beverage service has been suspended. AC is giving us some trouble. Sorry, folks. And Wi-Fi is out. And so is the entertainment. Yeah, I'm sorry about the smell, folks. We are aware.
I know.
Just one more quick note. We are going to have to deplane.
Come on! We're like the plane ride that isn't a nightmare. CG Britcay. Good like that.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Britcay, where people come first.
If you or your loved one is facing cancer, only Sylvester will stand firmly by your side at every step, from diagnosis through survivorship, providing you and your family peace of mind and assisting with everything you need before, during, and after your stay with us. Sylvester Comprehensive Cancer Center is South Florida's only NCI-designated cancer center and specializes in treating the most complex cancer cases. Your first-class cancer care is just a flight away. Learn more at sylvester.org.
Radio Cayman News.
I'm here today at the Tourism and Hospitality Open House.
We're just looking for people that are willing to work.
There were 1,700 jobs advertised last month.
It's one of the biggest cost drivers, the recent adjustment to civil servants' pay.
A woman claims she was assaulted while dining with a political candidate.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice for today's biggest news.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Top of the morning too. Let's check in with traffic, see what's happening on the pavement. Up on Shamrock Road, traffic is further up on Shamrock Road. Traffic is moving on moderately, further down a different story as traffic is steady. As you approach the Linford Pearson Highway, traffic steady coming off of Bobby Thompson and Agnes Way. Crew Road, slow moving traffic. Expect some delays. Heading east in Crew Road, traffic is moving on pretty good. Coming from the Westway 4-way stop, moderate flow of traffic. And traffic coming off of the Ashley-Tibbetts Highway is moving along at a moderate pace and continuing on to North Sound Road. Industrial Park area flowing moderately and steady traffic on Huldah Avenue. Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue flowing pretty good. No issues on Owen Roberts Drive. Light traffic. Walkers Road, the usual traffic flow. That's what's happening on your roads. Join us again at about 10 minutes past 12. We'll give you another look at traffic. And remember, phones down, eyes up, eyes on the road, and hands on the steering wheel. Cayman's roads deserve your full attention.
Get ready for something sweet, spicy, and totally crave-worthy. The hot honey chicken sandwich is here, and it's bringing the heat. We've taken our tender, juicy chicken and drenched it in bold hot honey sauce for the perfect balance of sweetness and spice. But hurry, this one's only here for a limited time. Hot honey chicken. Try it today before it's gone. Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
At 35 miles per hour, you have 3 seconds to react. At 50 miles per hour, just 1.5 seconds. That split second you save speeding could be the split second that saves a life. Most fatal crashes in Cayman involve speeding. Slow down, because arriving late is better than never arriving at all. Smart or reckless. Your choice changes everything. Visit gov.ky/road safety.
Are you feeling overwhelmed, sad, stressed out, or suicidal and need support? Call 1-800-534-6463. K-Mind, Mental Health Helpline. It's okay to ask for help. K-Mind Mental Health Helpline, available from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. Monday to Friday. It's free and confidential support and guidance on your emotional and psychological health.
For the record, with ORRETT Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. For those of you who are just joining us, we have Minister J. Ebanks in the studio with us. In addition to his constitutional responsibilities as far as portfolios go, he's also the acting Deputy Premier and covering the Deputy Premier's portfolio as well. Later on in the show this morning at 9 o'clock, we will be joined by Minister Nickolas DaCosta as well. And I will basically update you so far. The acting Deputy Premier has spoken about the undersea internet cable. He has updated us in terms of where things stand with that. He's spoken about the benefits to be derived from this new cable, and also spoken as to how the public will be informed as each milestone is reached. He also spoke about the east-west arterial as well. And we have a question here from one of our listeners who said, please ask the minister if he can give an undertaking to have the planning department send notices to landowners via email. Currently, notices are sent via mail, and with a 21-day period for a response, it forces people to regularly visit their mailbox. We live in an age of technology, and so the remitting of notices electronically, such as email, will allow for prompt receipt and a subsequent response.
Well, see, thank you for that, and I thank the person that actually written that to you. I can tell you that this is something that we have already started to have talks about. We have actually, it's more or less where we need to engage with the lands department first and have them update their system to be able to have to add on to the land registry some of these other things that need to be added on to. And I can tell you we're well on the way of moving into the technology and getting more data, more information for people land registry to how to add on there. But to also build out, and we spoke about that at one of our recent meetings about some of the planning changes that we're looking at and how we look at notifications that are sent out, because realistically we know there's not too many people that really checks their mailbox often enough anymore.
Mm-hmm. And some may not even have mailboxes.
And some may not even have mailboxes. So, but it's going to take an effort from the public to make sure that they come in and update all of their information, because that's another thing that I've been seeing going through from the court side of stuff also, is that people would say, well, stuff was sent to a mailbox, and that mailbox may not have been directed for that person, but may have been a mailbox for their parents, and it's gone into that mailbox because that was what was on the registry, and then now it's been days and days that they haven't got any information then until, enforcement officer knocks on the door or someone else knocks on the door to let them know what's happening. So yeah, we are looking to how we can streamline the system and make this a lot more better in the future.
Okay. Many listeners have been asking questions about the affordable affordable housing lots. What's happening now as far as the criteria, survey and subdivision of these properties? Where are we at?
So with the affordable lot one.
Affordable lots, yes.
Yes. We'll see. When the government got in, we looked at the lot sizes, and we thought that we could actually make a more meaningful impact if we brought down the lot sizes a little bit more to the affordable lot sizes. So we went back out and we have rejigged all of the parcels to make it more fit so we could get a few more parcels in there. I've been told by the team that, they're just going through the last drafting of the contracts of how this land will be distributed out and how the sales of this would actually work. So I'm hoping that within the coming weeks we'll be able to carry that to Cabinet to have a blessing from Cabinet, and then we could start to engage with the public about selling these lots back out to individuals. So that's something I would just ask the public to just stay tuned with us. We'll be on to do another show with that just before we do decide to start to release that, so that everybody's engaged, everybody knows what's happening and how we're moving forward. But it is exciting news, we'll see, because one of the most exciting things that I'm waiting on is to know that price point is that we're going to be able to adjust that price point to bring that really down to what we call affordable land lots. That's one of my biggest things that I'm very excited about, that younger Caymanians can be able to have the opportunity to own a piece of property, and owning a property at the price of what they would actually go and buy a car for. So, and that's something that here rarely seen in the Cayman Islands anymore. So I look forward to it, and hopefully a lot of younger Caymanians will take that opportunity to pick up one of these lots in East End. East End isn't the last place that we're going to be doing it. It was a test trial to start in East End, see how it actually works out, and we want to be able to spread that out throughout all the other districts because, not everybody wanted to get into one of the affordable homes, and some people wanted to have their own design of their own homes. But, one of the problems we're with them is actually getting the land at the right price. So by now, helping individuals get that land for the right price, Caymanians can go and design their own home, build a home that they feel fit for them going forward. So yeah, OC, that's another show for us to be able to get out there, to be able to engage with the public and let them know how the criteria will be for that and the price points for that. As soon as I have that, I definitely guarantee to you that you will have it afterwards. Yeah.
Excellent. Looking forward to that. Can we talk a little bit about the recent maritime compliance review that was undertaken for the Cayman Islands?
We'll see. Boy, when I took over Minister of Ports, I never thought I would have run into that wall that I seen coming here this week. Mm-hmm. It's going to be what I can start off with and tell you. There's going to be a lot of work to the Port Authority and getting the Port Authority up to compliance with their with this maritime report audit that was just conducted. Mm-hmm. I think
they have made recommendations based on that audit.
Out of 11 of those, 6 of those actually were mentioned towards port. Mm-hmm. And, from what I've understand, this has been an ongoing trend for a few years, and as port has not had the opportunity to work to look at addressing these matters that has been there. I've given the governor my reassurance that I will be addressing all of these matters and getting the port with compliance to this audit for maritime. I must say my team is well on the go. Some of that actually talked about lack of enforcement. So when it came to the Harbor Patrol does not have the powers to basically find individuals that are breaking the law when it comes to Harbor Patrol. Mm-hmm. So that is one. Another one section of it was the dangerous goods management and how they actually could deal with that. I think we are well on our way with that one particular one. The other one is how we deal with waste management from the ships. So the cruise ships, the cargo ships. There are some ways that we need to be able to deal with that. We've come up with a few solutions on how we're going to do that. Another one that we've had part of their audit was the illegal bunker of fuel operations for port. Mm-hmm. Just stating that the port needed to have a license to be able to sell fuel to any other vessels that are coming there. It's something that we're looking into, be able to get that updated. And one of the biggest ones is updating the laws, the Port Authority Act. I think it's from 1976, 70 something, I think it is. But just to be clear, that's going to be probably one of the largest ones to be able to get sorted out. Updating the Act, updating the regulations. And then another huge one is the pilots. That Port Authority needs to have their own pilots. Going forward to it's something because of in case of incidents that happen that we should be able to have pilots. Back in the days it really wasn't too much of a problem for the Cayman Islands because we had a lot of captains that could help us out, but now that is something that is fading in the sunset, not having as many captains anymore. So we need to get a few individuals trained up
and certified
to become pilots. We need to be able to deal with our emergency pollution response is another one that we have to look at working on. We're going to have to end up building out our enforcement team a little bit more, is another part of the criteria that we need to look at. So, and then also when we went on from there, there's some little add-ons else about maintenance of channels and stuff that we need to make sure that we're maintaining properly going forward. There's some other things that we want to look at and going to be able to. So there's quite a task, I can tell you, of list of tasks to get done for Port Authority alone. Not even talking about some of the enhancements that we want to do to the port. We've went out. We've started to purchase some new cranes. So those cranes are in the making and should be here probably, I would say, maybe next year. We're going to look at doing some more enhancement of shading and for the cruise side that's over there, and how to make that side a little bit more friendly. We'll see. One thing I'm recently talking about with the ports also, and with the Minister for Tourism, the Deputy Premier at the time, we had a great meeting with some of the cruise lines people and talking with them and how we can actually enhance the cruise and get people from A to B. So something that we're going to be looking forward in the future now is trying to do a lot more of that pre-check-in on land. So instead of on the vessel, which will allow the tenders to get the people off the ship a lot more faster and onto shore, and how we can do. And we've also talked about ways of how we can actually work of seeing the vessels staying into the Cayman waters a lot longer. So if we're not by 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, they're blowing a horn to get out of here. We want to be able to see them to spend a few more hours in the Cayman Islands water. So, so my hands are very full when it comes to the Port Authority. There's a lot to do, but OC, I have a wonderful team, and this is going to be managed by my Deputy Chief Officer, Miss Andrea Fumoy, and I have no doubts that Miss Andrea and her individuals that will be working along with her to get this sorted out will definitely be able to get this done. And hopefully the next audit that comes around, we will be able to be in compliance with that. I know that they will be back in 90 days. We're not saying that all of this can be done in 90 days, but we will show them a good face that we are well on the way of doing everything and getting it done.
Excellent. Okay, we're going to take a commercial break. When we return, we want to talk a little bit about the central wetlands, land for protection. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit caymanairways.com/cargo.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite Band-Aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. Don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
It's a sizzling summer with JN Money. You can win a luxury weekend getaway for two when you send or receive money from now until September 30, 2025. That's right. We're turning up the heat this summer with JN Money. Visit www.jnmoneyonline.com to learn more about how to win. What are you waiting for? Send, win, relax this summer with JN Money.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
Saturday evening at 7 o'clock on your Yesteryear Musical. We'll take you through a short narrative remembrance reminder of this September week's time frame in World and Cayman Islands history. And of course, there'll be lots of interesting music for you. That's on your Yesteryear Musical, Saturday evening at 7 o'clock on Breeze Radio, 105.3 FM in Grand Cayman and 91.9 FM in Little Cayman and Cayman Brac. Your Yesteryear Musical, Saturday, 7 o'clock in the evening on Breeze.
Marriage is a journey worth investing in. On Saturday, September 20th, join author, coach, and speaker, Mr. Wesley Jones from Panama, for a life-changing marriage workshop at the Intergenerational Hub, Old Woods Furniture Store behind Airport Foster's. Discover tips on how to continue loving in your marriage, strengthen your bond, and inspire the next generation that marriage works. Enjoy breakfast at 10 a.m., followed by a powerful workshop and question and answer session. Space is limited. RSVP as soon as possible. Call 916-6182. A Kimpton gift certificate is up for grabs for the person inviting the most couples. This is a free event. Strong marriages build strong families, and strong families build strong communities.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. Before I go back over to my guest in the studio, Honorable J. Ebanks, Acting Deputy Premier. So we have happy birthday wishes yesterday, also known as 7, Ricky Seymour, and also known as Trini, Jason Brown. That was yesterday. Today, Henry McPhail, also known as Baker, is celebrating his birthday today. Tomorrow on the 13th, Lloyd Ramon, a.k.a. Stoker, celebrating his birthday. And also Miriam Ebanks will be celebrating as well. We are all wishing you God's richest blessings, good health, and long life, aging to perfection. And this is coming from the Central Crew, where family means everything.
See, let me just go back and just wish everybody there well, happy birthday, and I hope it is what they expect, and I know them in all those individuals there will make sure that they have a good time. You know, Ricky Seymour, Baker, shout out to you all, Lloyd Stoker, one of my fellow Northsiders up there. Happy birthday to you all. I know you're originally from town, but you moved into my district, so you're a Northsider now, and you've been up that way for a little while. So yes, happy birthday to everybody.
Okay, we're going to skip the wetlands and talk about the government administration building. But before we go there, Minister, another one of our listeners has said, regarding the backyard gardening program, can you advise how people were selected and why they don't, why reasons aren't given to the ones that were not approved, and why do those that are not approved, they use the word rejected, but I say not approved, why do those have to apply again for stage 2 and not be placed automatically into the second round?
Well, see, that's very interesting. I'm taking a note of that to find out. But I would have said that if you have not been chosen yet for the backyard program, it's because the number. I mean, when we opened that program up, the amount of emails and amount of contacts that we've got in that filled that so quickly that we had to actually put a stop to it very fast. But we have several individuals that are still in the waiting list to get the backyard kit that we have set up. But I've made a note of that to be able to get back and find out what's going on with that. If that individual doesn't mind sharing, but I mean, if they haven't gotten a letter saying that they weren't successful, maybe they're still in the queue for the second round of it. But we'll see after we get off the radio. If you mind sharing that contact information of that person, if they're okay with that, I'll double check and I'll have my comms team get back to them and what we need and let them know.
Certainly will do. So we can talk about government administration buildings. We know on previous discussions that despite the fact that we can still call it a new government administration building, there are many government departments that are spread, all over the place, and whether or not you're trying to establish a business case for any new building.
OC, on the government administration building, before I get there, let me just finish clean up on the port side where we were there before we took a break. Just going back to the list of stuff that Port Authority has to address, and just to, give an update. A lot of this stuff has been lingering for almost, from what I was told, about 6 years and has not been addressed.
And you can also tell our listening and viewing audience who conducted this review. What it is a part.
So it is a maritime. It is a maritime audit, and it's basically it's a work with Macy and to make sure that we're in compliance with all of the maritime and shipping registrations, and to make sure that our Port Authority is up to the standards that it needs to be at. It was done through I think it's called the instruments implementation codes of for the port, but it's an audit that needs to be complied as from the UK side of stuff also, so that we can continue to make sure that we're kept at the high standards that we need to be at when it comes to our maritime history. And we have the Cayman Islands have been one of the leading industries in the maritime industries. So we want to continue to push and make sure that we're continuing from the port side, not hindering anything when it comes to that. So we're going to make sure that under my administration, under this government administration, and under my watch as the Minister for Ports, that we are going to make sure that we are, when the next audit is being done, we will be in compliance and have all of this done. I just want to, thank the deputy director down there. He's been in ports. He's been engaged with this audit and working with the audit team and getting a lot of this starting to go, getting done. Had really good remarks on Mr. CJ down there. Thank you, Mr. CJ, for all the hard work that you're doing down there at the ports.
CJ.
Yeah. The audit team was very impressed with all of his knowledge and work that he's already started to do in the background to be able to get us from the enforcement side and get things going. So there's a lot, and I thank the director for pushing these individuals to make sure that we're going to be going in that way to get what we need to get done. So it is a lot of work to get done. We are going to be putting a new board together there shortly. for the Port Authority. So they will be tasked with a lot of work to be doing, heads up going forward also. But we'll see. I've made my commitment to the audit team and to the individuals from the UK and to the governor that I'm taking on this task very seriously to make sure that we've going to be well in compliance. OC, just to go back now when we're talking about the government admin building. Yes, in the new year we will be looking at doing a business case to show and to look at where we think the next government administration building should be. I know last time I was here on your show, I mentioned that, and that kind of sparked a wildfire of individuals coming out the woodwork and making suggestions for where the next admin building could be, and people reaching out, wanting to look at doing partnerships, triple Ps, and whether the government would be interested in a triple P, whether the government would be interested in the lease to own. It really sparked a lot of interest. So I can tell you it's something that we're definitely taking under consideration to be able to move forward. But, as I said last time, it's not something that's probably going to happen in this administration, but at least a lot of the hard work will be done in moving forward to be able to the next administration to be able to decide then that here we are, this is what it's going to cost, locations, designs, and everything else that needs to be done. So we're going to be looking at putting that into the budget so that we can continue to, because we are spending significant amount of money out there renting spaces, and we're still having to look more rental spaces around town. And right now, we're still having to find, bring departments out of the government building because of the layout of it is to be able to accommodate other individuals and other ministries that are in the building. So, yes, OC, there's a lot of work to be done. I know also there was a lot of spark when I mentioned about the glass house, of doing some renovation works on that, on the original glass house, and making that kind of into a historical history, culture, heritage kind of site. So we will be doing something shortly with the paper to be able to carry to cabinet, to get cabinet's blessings on the direction on what it will cost of a renovation side, what it will cost to a rebuild, or if it's to knock it down, whatever the government. So all will be end up doing the full layout, so the government can actually have something to be able to look right through and see exactly this is what it is, and the pros and cons, and what it's going to cost to do each and every one, and then the government can decide on that.
Okay, we're going to take a commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit CaymanAirways.com/cargo.
Storms bring wind, rain, and unexpected costs to buy supplies, secure your home, or make minor repairs. Incidental expenses not covered by insurance. Until now, with Cineco's parametric coverage, you get automatic payouts within 2 to 3 weeks of a Category 3 or stronger hurricane, whether or not you have damage. Available only through Cineco's homeowners insurance. Visit Cineco.ky to get a quote today. Cineco. keeping Cayman covered.
Social media, X, formerly Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Interact with our talk shows on YouTube. Download our official Radio Cayman app, or you can log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky. You can also add us to WhatsApp
on 925-3261.
All the latest information, breaking news, community events, and more. Radio Cayman.
For the Record with ORRETT Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. For those of you who are just joining us, my pleasure to have in the studio with me this morning Minister J. Ebanks, who is also the acting Deputy Premier and covering the portfolio responsibilities for tourism and trade, in addition to his responsibilities as Minister responsible for planning, lands, agriculture, housing, and infrastructure as well. Before we went to the commercial break, we were talking about the government admin building and some of the things that are being progressed in relation to that. You've heard him say that while they're looking into it and doing some of the advanced work, it is not something that is likely to take place during this administration. So many other things that you have to do, as well.
Well, I mean, the only reason that I would say that you wouldn't see mortar in the ground in this administration, OC, is because of the size of the business cases that needs to be done. And by the time we do the business case, by the time we go out to the RFP, and then by the time we get the design, go to the design then of the building, and then go from the design and then get to the planning stage of stuff. So there's a lot of hurdles that we need to jump before we can get to be able to see where we're going to be able to break ground. So that's why I mentioned that. I'm very almost positive that with the amount of hurdles that you have to jump to get there, you definitely would not see anything in this administration when it comes to actually breaking ground in there. But nevertheless, I mean, we're going to continue to push forward and go to the direction that we think that we need to be going into, and deciding on that location, and hopefully shortly, when the business case does start to look into that, we can decide, and because that will take in all counters of aspects of the traffic and everything else, and where the next building should be, and where the height of the building and the locations and everything else. So there's a lot of moving parts to take in place with it, but I can tell you we'll get it done. We'll get it done.
And speaking, you mentioned height of buildings. One of our listeners remarked, and I know you've spoken about this before, that as far as affordable housing is concerned, because of the limited land space that we have, one of our listeners commented, about thoughts of going higher as opposed to spreading out. And I know you have spoken about that before. And then one of our listeners also wanted to know, what are your plans on selecting members for the Port Authority board? The person says that they have often said that members of a board should have to demonstrate why they should be chosen, such as experience, etc.
Thank you, OC, for that. Well, when it comes to the Port Authority board, just going back to what I can remember from what I think the regs or the laws states, that every individual is chosen by cabinet members or caucus members, and then goes on into cabinet for final decision. OC, but I think the board also, the law also talks that one member to be on the board has to be a member of the Chamber of Commerce, and then also one member that sits on that board should be part of the I think it's from, I would say, from the logistics team that actually work within, not from port, but with on port, that works out from one of the shipping side or one of the agents that are there should be on the board also. So, and then the government gets to decide the individuals that they want to be able to put on there. But I know, we should be scrutinizing and looking at and making sure that we're putting the best people we can on the board. But OC, one thing I can tell you is that we need to look at is one thing I like to see done is that we try to at least get some younger individuals on our boards, making sure that because that's been one of the hardest things, is to find good talent, people that want to be on these boards, but also find young individuals that want to sit on boards. And I think a lot of our Caymanians, younger Caymanians, should take up the opportunity to try to come on the board to try to get the experience that is needed and be more proactive into the decision makings of their country and the government. So I applaud any younger Caymanian that wants to be on a board, or any younger Caymanian that has any aspirations but has never been contacted by anybody, to put their hands up, just put their names forward, so that we as the government could actually make decisions, because that's something that we wanted to look at, is that we try to make sure that each one of our boards try to have some a young balance on there from some of the younger generations that are coming up.
Okay.
So OC, just going off from there, some of the other, OC, I know we're at 8:55 now. I mean, I'm always happy to engage with the people. I feel it always be lonely when it's just me and you talking in here.
But we'll filter in some of the questions that are coming in, and then we can let them know when we'll open up the phone lines as well. Yeah.
All right. Always happy to take callers. So whenever you have callers calling in, please.
Yep.
Let us not. So OC, one of the other things that you may have seen recently of some of the upgrades that are happening at the Cayman Islands Airport Authority. A lot of Caymanians going through the airport now will be very happy to know that when they're going through now, the old system that we had before, you had to take out your laptops and everything else out of your bag and put it into a different crate and then make it go through the scanner. Now, with the new system, the modern system that we have now, and I can tell you, we have, from talking to the TSA, we have invested in the best technology there is out there. And, there's other countries that hasn't invested into this technology that we have invested in. So this will make your experience going through the security checkpoint a lot faster. And then also by next month, we'll be looking into our new body scanners of how you pass through, which will actually help then of allowing you to track through the security checkpoints a lot faster. We want to try to get all of this in play and update, because I can tell you from the numbers that I'm seeing, and with the Deputy Premier out there doing his job and getting extra flights coming into the island. And I know he just announced just recently that JetBlue will be coming into the island in December, and adding I think it's 3 flights a week from Fort Lauderdale. I can tell you the airport is going to be well busy coming up in December. So we're going to have to look at how we can do a lot of improvements in the short term to make sure that our passengers moving through the airport are having that Cayman experience that we want them to have, and we're showing them that hospitality that we want to make sure that. So when they enter, they're getting that Cayman kind, but when they're leaving, they're getting that last experience to have that Cayman kind experience, because that will ruin your vacation when you're leaving and getting a bad feedback going through the airport, I can tell you.
First impression?
The first and last, yes.
Okay, let's see if we can grab a caller before we go to our 9 o'clock headline news, which is going to be in a couple of minutes. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning. How are you doing, Lord Graham?
I'm good. And good morning to the Honorable Minister there.
Good morning. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Yeah. OC, can you hear me good?
Yep. Loud and clear.
Okay. I'm calling in on the WhatsApp number because I'm overseas.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. To Minister J, are you responsible for what you would call the boundary of the property? Like I'm making reference to the beach. Would that come under you?
Yes, sir. I made a note or announcement last time I was on this show of that the government is now looking at the low water mark, high water mark for when it comes to the shorelines.
That's where I'm going. I noticed, Minister, that some properties, like for example, the Pinnacle, they got their, some people put their little sticks and rope along. They have put theirs all the way up to where the old people used to talk about the end of the vegetation, wherever the bush, the cocoa plum or whatever stops.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They're right along there. The Great House, all those places got their mark. The governor's resident got their fence all the way up. And then I think, in my opinion, that the other places, the reason why the low water, high water mark was moved was because a lot of people wanted to use up more of the beach and give less access to the public to the beach. I don't think it had anything to do with building. I think it was just they want to take up more of the beach. So I think that's something we should look into and move that back to where it used to be. Also the airport. I had an experience on Wednesday. This is Wednesday, and Saturday is the most busiest day at the airport. One person checking your passport on the way out just before you get to the X-ray machines. So that gave you a real backup straight out, almost out to the lobby. We have to improve on that. You can't have one person there checking passports.
I absolutely agree with you, sir. If you just went through there recently, you'll see that there was a section of the airport that was actually right there where that one person will be sitting. It's been blocked off by some a kind of a wooden wall. And there's been some modifications, some work happening right behind the scenes in there, which that wall should be coming down shortly and expanding that whole area to make that entrance a lot more better. And we'll be able to, I'll make sure we're taking a note of that too, so that we can look at that to make sure that checkpoint there is as streaming as best as we can, because I do make frequent stop points in there and at the high peak hours just to see how things are happening. And I can tell you I've seen where the lines have been extra long there, so we need to figure out how we can be able to speed that up. And if it is just that one person looking at your passport is holding that up, we can definitely take a note of that to make that, and we make sure that when we, on the new opening of that we have another individual or two or three there to be able to look at that. Because it doesn't make sense for me to hold you there and everything behind him we are fixing to streamline to make that so much more efficient, to make that better. So, caller, thank you. Graham, I thank you for that. And I've taken a note to make sure that when we do open up that section now, we can actually look at adding maybe another one or two there.
Thank you very much, Lord Graham. Top of the hour, headline news at 9 o'clock. We should be joined shortly by Minister Nickolas DaCosta as well. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority. A Cayman Brac woman has pled not guilty to an assault charge but has accepted a careless driving charge reduced from an original dangerous driving allegation. The original incident, which involved another woman, happened in Cayman Brac, where they both live. She'll be heading back to court in December and remains on bail. In international news, Donald Trump says authorities have found Charlie Kirk's killer, telling Fox News, quote, with a high degree of certainty, we have him in custody. He says, quote, somebody very close to him turned him in, and he says he expects officials to give an update later today. Trump says the suspect's father was involved in taking him to the police. He, quote, said the father convinced the son. Trump also says the suspect is between 28 or 29. Authorities previously said the suspect, quote, appears to be college age. Earlier, Kirk's widow was comforted by Vice President J.D. Vance's wife on the steps of Air Force Two as Kirk's coffin was flown to Arizona. And minutes into his opening statement, Ryan Routh, the man accused of trying to assassinate U.S. President Donald Trump last September, was forced by the judge to end his remarks. Introductory statements are typically used to preview evidence and arguments for the rest of the trial, but Mr. Routh's were dedicated to his philosophical musings on intent, the history of human evolution, and, quote, the need to be kind to one another. He invoked Adolf Hitler and Vladimir Putin and declared, quote, modern trials seem to eliminate all that is human. The 59-year-old is charged with 5 crimes, including attempted assassination of a major presidential candidate, and has chosen to represent himself. Those are your headlines. I'm Carsley Fuller.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Do you have a healthcare question but not sure who to ask? Contact HSA's Patient Call Center to speak to one of our experienced clinical team members. We are here to answer your questions and help guide you through your healthcare journey. Need to make an appointment? Our team can help. Contact HSA at 949-8600 or email info@hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
For the record, with ORRETT Connor.
Home Affairs. Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. My pleasure to have in the studio with me, joining Minister J. Ebanks, Acting Deputy Premier, is Honourable Nickolas DaCosta, Minister with responsibility for District Administration and Home Affairs. Just a little bit of housekeeping. We're going to suspend the phone calls for now because we want to give Minister DaCosta an opportunity to have some opening comments and also to cover some of the areas that he wants to cover as well. So without any further ado, Mr. Minister DaCosta, good morning, sir. Welcome back to For the Record.
Good morning, OC. Thank you very much. And it's a pleasure to be here with you and Acting Deputy Premier, Minister Ebanks. Special good morning to all those listening to radio, online, or in their cars, or at home. But more importantly, the people of Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, they're at home. I spent a very good day in my office in Cayman Brac yesterday, seeing many people from the constituency, which I try to do every Thursday. So yesterday was a busy day, but I'm back to work in Grand Cayman today. So it's a pleasure to be here with you and just to talk a little bit about the ministry. When the ministry was formed up after the election, we combined District Administration and Home Affairs. Okay. And essentially, you could say that the ministry is responsible for the national security of the country. And you may ask, well, how does district admin fit in with national security? Well, district admin provides all government essential services across the sister islands. We do everything for the sister islands through that. So without that portion of the ministry, the sister islands will shut down. So it was a task to stand up the ministry as it is, but it's been great experience building it up. I have a phenomenal team. Just recently, on September 1st, our Chief Officer, Mr. Michael Ebanks, was confirmed in his post.
Yes.
And we're supported by...
Well-deserved. Congratulations to you, Michael.
Well-deserved, yes. And we have
Hello, Northsider again.
with a little bit of Brat connection, too. Don't forget that part, all right? Don't forget that part. But all of the Deputy Chief Officers in the Ministry as well have phenomenal experience in their areas of responsibility. So not only do they talk the talk, they walk it as well. When I first met with the ministry, one of the key things that I spoke on and touched on was how important rehabilitation was to me. And I'll tell you, coming out of the election, I didn't think that I would be Minister for Home Affairs, but it's where I landed, and it's something that I am passionate about. So what we have been looking at in specific to Home Affairs is ways to break down barriers to rehabilitation. We have prison service under the ministry, the Department of Community Rehabilitation, Public Safety Communications. All of those things tie together, and the key area that ties them all together is rehabilitation. And that's where we've been faced now with the prison, that we have a building that's not fit for purpose for this year, for the times that we're in. So that has been a key focus on creating or moving forward with a facility that's purpose-built that addresses rehabilitation, not just incarceration. So it's been, I know what is it now? It could be 132 days maybe that we've been in office. And I know, as you said, this is my first time on Radio Cayman since the election and since our debate. But we have been hard at work in moving programs forward, planning out the next 4 years to tackle everything that needs to be done.
Excellent. And, we have been getting repeated calls about the prison, and one particular caller keeps referring to the last prison inspection that took place and the recommendations that were made then, and whether or not those recommendations had been acted upon. And one of the things that he cites, is in terms of fire safety and having to unlock each cell individually in the event of a fire or something like that. So it's good to know that those you're looking at that.
Yes, most certainly. And the caller probably did say how long ago that inspection was.
I think about 6 years. I may have mentioned.
But between 6 and 10 years. And so while a formal inspection hasn't been done in a very long time, we have the independent monitoring board that works well with the director as well for ongoing monitoring. And those issues do come up. Over the past 5 years, any issues that arise when it comes to prison safety, keeping the building standing, the governments for the past 5 years or more have been committed to patchwork as much as they can. OC, on average, over the past 5 years, government has spent $5 million per year in utility costs, maintenance and depreciation on all of the buildings that we have. That $5 million per year, we're dumping it into a building that was built in the 1980s. It is currently condemned, trying to keep the walls up. So we are actively looking right now. We are going through the design phase for a new building. The last administration took that bold step in progressing the design of a new prison estate. Because we accept that there are issues with the prison based on all the reports that have been issued and done, our continuous monitoring. And the last administration, as I said, did move forward with the design. So now it's our duty to go forward and figure out how we can accomplish progressing a purpose-built facility that is not just for incarceration, but also rehabilitation. Because that's the most important key that we need to do, and not focus on building walls to keep people in, but to build people up so that they can go out.
Mm-hmm. Now, we have seen instances where the United Kingdom has assisted other jurisdictions, overseas territories. For instance, Turks and Caicos, they have assisted them in many ways as far as security is concerned, especially with the threat that they have with neighboring Haiti.
Mm-hmm.
But we also saw in the past when David Cameron was Prime Minister of the UK and went to Jamaica because they wanted to deport many Jamaicans back to Jamaica, especially those dangerous criminals,
right,
and offered to build a prison for Jamaica. Can we expect any assistance or would we seek any assistance from the United Kingdom in this endeavor as far as prison reform and rehabilitation and the infrastructure that is needed?
Sure. Well, Lucy, I can't speak to the expectation too much because I don't know what we'll get, but we'll certainly seek any assistance that can be given to accomplish this goal, because I know that this is not going to be any small task. It's not going to come at a low price tag. So we have to look. What I've tasked the minister with is currently looking at how we can do this in phases. What are the most critical areas that need to be built now, and attack it in those phases rather than trying to do a complete project all at once. Because there are issues that need to be addressed immediately. Some are more long term, but when you look at basic facilities like wastewater treatment, plumbing, I mean, our buildings are, the prison estate is so old that you have plumbing issues with every building. Currently, we're spending $25,000 per month on water because there's so many leaks in the pipe system. And you can only reroute so much without going into the walls that are already, I guess, on its last. So you don't want to compromise that anymore. So we will be asking for assistance because it is for our national security as well as building those people up. So I'm certain that I'm hopeful that we'll receive a positive response when we do ask for assistance and that we can accomplish that for our people.
Okay. Anything more you want to talk about in as regards to district administration?
Well, district administration, it goes without saying that that's my passion. That was the easiest part of the ministry, one that I was most familiar with. So I've spent some time learning home affairs and all of the new entities because we've also added CBC, postal services, all of that into home affairs.
Okay.
But district administration is a passion. We are working to revamp certain programs with district admin. The district commission and I work very closely together, and we are identifying different things. We, as you know, district admin in Grand Cayman, we have the National Roads Authority. District admin plays the role of National Roads Authority in Cayman Brac. So we're responsible for all road maintenance. We've been lucky to have Water Authority expanding the pipeline in Cayman Brac. Because of that work, now our roads need to be reinstated. So we are upgrading the asphalt plant. We are moving forward, reinstating the road where Water Authority has worked. And we have a lot more private roads that are not private, sorry, public roads. Yes, public roads that have never been paved, or they've been paved with the old chip and spray that have many potholes. So we're looking at how we can move forward the road paving program to enhance the infrastructure in the sister islands.
Okay, folks, we're going to go to a commercial break. When we return, the conversation with the acting Deputy Premier, Honorable J. Ebanks, and also with the Honorable Nickolas DaCosta, who has responsibility for district administration and Home Affairs. I got to remember that term, Home Affairs as well. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
It's a sizzling summer with Jan Money. You can win a luxury weekend getaway for two when you send or receive money from now until September 30, 2025. That's right. We're turning up the heat this summer with Jan Money. Visit www.janmoneyonline.com to learn more about how to win. What are you waiting for? Send, win, relax this summer with Jan Money.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget, our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Breaking news. What Happening is back.
The funniest comedy show in Cayman.
With even more island drama.
Come see the Riff Raff.
Hurry up and buy.
Come and see Cayman's new immigration department.
Hurry up and buy.
Come and watch the drama unfold live at the Hartwheel Theatre.
Give me money right now.
September 26th until October 12th. Get your tickets at ticketsplus.ky before all the laughs are sold out. Proudly presented by the Cayman National Cultural Foundation.
For the Record with ORRETT Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We're opening up the phone lines. The ministers want to hear from you, want to talk. We want to accommodate as many callers as possible. So it is imperative that you ask your question, or if you have a comment, that you please make it as short as possible so that we can accommodate as many callers as possible. And before we go to the phone lines, we just want to say happy birthday to Miss Katrina Stewart. Happy birthday greetings coming from your husband, Sparrow, as well, as your son and the rest of the family, including your cycling family, the early breakers or the day breakers, as well, and your friends over in the department also. And I believe, Minister J, you may want to give her a shout out as well.
Yes, OC, happy birthday, Katrina. Wish you all the best, and I hope they treat you right.
Have a big party over there today, right?
It is your day, yes.
Minister will declare the holiday.
I hope that goes for us too, so happy birthday, Katrina.
I wish that was that easy.
Okay, let's go to the phone lines. Our first caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC, to your panel here.
We're getting an echo from you. We're getting an echo. Caller, if you're on the speakerphone, we need you to come off. We're not hearing you.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, much better.
Okay, I'm sorry. Good morning to you and to your panel there, Mr. DaCosta and Minister G, Minister DaCosta.
Good morning, sir.
I don't know which one of you gentlemen are in charge, but it's been bothering me for many years because when I was a young boy, I was always in construction and I've done a lot of building in this island. I'm just trying to find out if you all have any answers about the old glass house. That building is still very strong. It can be gutted out and remodeled, but the outside frame of that is good as the day, and it's just sitting there, and it can be used because the government has a lot of places rented or leased. And I was just wondering if any of your government department were thinking about doing anything with it. That's my question. Because it can be used, and space in Cayman for building is very much needed. So I'll just ask that question and hang up. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, caller.
I think we've covered that in the first part of the show.
Yes,
but
you did.
Just to let the caller know that my team is looking at the the structure of the building right now, and the purpose of the fit out, of what we can do, and the pros and cons and that, and we'll be able to soon have that to Cabinet so Cabinet can make a decision on what we're going to be able to do with the building. So whatever that is, we're trying to get that in so that we can actually make sure that we have it in the budget upcoming.
Okay, let's grab the next caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hey, good morning. Can you hear me clearly?
Very clear.
Very clear.
Excellent. Good morning, ministers. For Minister Jay, can you provide an update on the second phase of the road completion for East End Heights?
East End Heights.
Sorry, can you remind me where?
East End Heights is the National Housing Development Trust. It's a subdivision off of John McLean Drive, and the road for the second phase started. I think they cleared the road, they put in marl, but now it is starting to get overgrown. So just wondering if you can provide some clarity on when the road will be finished.
Oh, okay. Well, what the update I can give you on that right to the minute is the homes that we have under construction right now, we will be building just the road out to that location. And what we're actually going to do now is we're going back to West Bay to start the homes in what I remember as the Apple Blossom site, to get that site back up under control, and then try to get Georgetown. And then once we're moving, we will continue to build out the full infrastructure of the second and third. I think that's maybe would almost be considered a third phase of East End up there. But right to the minute, there's no appetite to build that third phase out. And the road had, but yeah, I understand that the road was cleared, and part of the for clearing the road was actually be able to utilize the fill onto the second phase of where those houses are being built now. We'll see. I don't want to throw out a number that I'm not 100% sure. Okay, you know how people are with numbers, but
hold you to it.
There's a few houses that are being built in East End right now, and that's as far as the road is going to be going right there until we come back to do the third phase.
Caller?
Okay, so yeah, just for clarity, you're familiar with the circle?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And just to ensure I'm getting it correct, there is no intention at the moment to complete the circle?
Not at the moment, no, sir.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, caller. This person asks this question: considering the latest story in the media where the National Housing and Development Trust spent over $157,000 on sinks and tubs that could not be used for the low-income homes, how does the minister plan to on ensuring another costly mistake like this is not made again? And will there be an investigation into the matter so that those individuals responsible will be held accountable?
OC, I thank the writer for that. What I can tell you is that when it was brought to my attention about this, that's the first thing I've actually went into with my team to figure out what was the next step on where we're going to go with this and how we're going to actually look at dealing with this. I know my chief officer and deputy chief officer has actually looking to actually write a memo to the National Housing, and I think they're not to get into too far into it, but there is going to be some kind of a legal back and forth with that, so just to stay out of it and not get any further into it.
Precisely.
In case this does end up into a courts or anything else. Yep. But I can tell you it's something that is very concerning, and we're not just here to see that the money was the government's money is just spent, or not even the money. I say the government's money, the people's money, isn't just spent foolishly. We do take it very serious, and when as it came to my attention, it's something that I've asked my team to jump all over, and how we're going to look forward to this and resolving this matter, but making sure that this matter does not have a repeat again. So I would tell you, in the future, we will probably see something coming out of this later on.
Okay, Minister, thank you very much. We have a WhatsApp caller. Let's go to the WhatsApp number. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hey, good morning, Mr. O'Connor.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Okay. And good morning to you guests.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Caller, are you there?
I heard the minister speaking about Northwood.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very concerned about that, being that we're in 2025 now. And this electrical fire was to break out in Northwood prison. It could spread very fast. And the officers has to open each cell with a key, which means that his life will be in danger also. So we need to have a new prison built. But when you press a button, all cells are able to open at once in case of an emergency. There's no way of putting these types of cells in place because the walls and the steel rods in Northwood Prison are rotten in. So I hope the ministers will take this very seriously and build a new prison for these prisoners as soon as possible.
Were you listening earlier? To what Minister DaCosta had to say about that?
Well, I actually missed what he had to say.
Okay. Well,
I would just like to say that every individual in Northwood Prison, they have family members that love them very much, and I'm sure there are family members who also voted for the government that is in today. So all the past governments that did not do what they need to do in order to protect these prisoners the way that they should, I'm hoping that this government will do so.
Okay, let's hear from the minister then, Minister DaCosta.
Thank you, OC, and thank you for the call and the question and the sentiments. You know, I won't speak to too much of what has not happened in the past. What I can say is that it's definitely on my radar and on the radar of all of my colleagues in caucus. Since taking office, I've made 2 visits to the prison. One as just a general tour, walking through all the cell blocks, all of the recreational grounds, the VOTEC areas. And then a second visit was for the graduation ceremony that the prisoners had. Over 100 prisoners graduated with more than 150 certifications at that time. And at that ceremony, I looked out and told every single one of them that I was proud of them, because they are there, and despite being in a prison that was built in the 1980s, that opened in 1981, and the conditions that it's in, they are still working to make themselves better so that they can come back to society better people, and that we can welcome them back. And that's the most important thing. So it is not lost on me the conditions that they are in. And during this budget cycle, during our budget presentations to caucus that happen next week, I will be advocating for funding, not just for patchwork, but to progress the development of, as I said, in phases where priority is needed to enhance the new prison. And just to go back to what we said earlier with assistance from the UK, the Ministry of Justice in the UK has been very helpful thus far with the Ministry of Home Affairs, the past ministry, and now still this current ministry when it comes to security measures. Since we've had instances of fires and everything in the prison, there's been installations of fire hoods to quickly extract the smoke. So smoke inhalation isn't an issue, but there's still lots of work to be done. So it's not lost on me, it's not lost on my colleagues, and it's at the top of our list in ways that we can enhance our prison facilities for the people.
Thank you very much for that response. Minister, we're going to take a commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
When a hurricane hits, unexpected costs can add up fast. Homeowners are usually out of pocket for these costs to get supplies or make minor repairs. But with Cineco's parametric coverage, you get automatic payouts within 2 to 3 weeks after a Category 3 or stronger storm, whether or not you have damage. Available only through Cineco Homeowners Insurance. Call 949-8101 or visit Cineco.ky for a quote. That's Cineco.ky to get a quote today. Cineco, keeping K-Man covered.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite Band-Aid with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. Don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the People's Station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
For the Record with ORRETT Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, we have the Acting Deputy Premier, the Honourable J. Ebanks, and the Minister with responsibility for District Administration and Home Affairs, the Honourable Nickolas DaCosta. Before, I have a few WhatsApp messages that I'm going to share, but we've also asked to send out birthday wishes to Mrs. Julie Heslop. She'll be celebrating her birthday tomorrow. God's blessings forever be with her. She's the most kind, loving, and caring person that I know, the writer says as well. So we have one listener who has written and said that we are truly blessed that Minister J is where he is at this time in this era. We look forward to his public service in the long term. J has come to public life at the right time. The government he is now a part of promises to be the most positively consequential leadership in relation to the long overdue national reset where Caymanians resume their rightful place as fulfilled citizens in an evolving Cayman we created in the first place. This is no easy task. We look forward to continuing standing behind Jay to overcome obstacles to opportunity and prosperity that leaves no Caymanian behind. Go Jay.
Yep.
Then the other one.
See, hold on.
Sure,
if I could just jump in there too and big up the minister as well. We have a running joke in caucus that the minister is Superman because the minister is definitely hard working, not only for his constituency but for the country as a whole in all areas of responsibility. So Jay is doing a phenomenal job, and I am the lucky one that sits right beside him every week in caucus. So I'm learning from him, and he is a tremendously hard worker, and I know that we will continue to be represented well through Minister J. Ebanks.
Okay, and there's one for you here as well. Thank you, Minister Nickolas, for leading the charge to secure the treasure that is the historical lighthouse property on the bluff. Minister DaCosta has secured acreage that means much to heritage, geological significance to the sister islands. That was the first historical settlement in Cayman dating from 1661. Further private holding of this national treasure would have been devastating. The Cayman Brac geological formation is the oldest of 4 rock formations constituting the Cayman Islands. The lighthouse property is a most important part of this, our national treasure. Thanks, Nickolas, as we know the best is yet to come.
Thank you, OC. And it was certainly a team effort in getting that, so I must thank my colleagues in recognizing the value that property holds to the people of the Cayman Islands, but in particular Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. So I'm happy to have worked with my entire cabinet colleagues and indeed all of caucus to secure it.
Okay, Ms. Susan, we have a caller on hold. Let's grab the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Pleasant good morning to gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Minister J and Minister DaCosta. It is certainly refreshing and totally appreciative of you taking your busy time out to speak to the public at hand. Certainly appreciate this. My question this morning has to do with a very deep concern in terms of the sporting facility. I have been a part of the football fraternity for many, many, many years. I have been involved in sports for many, many years. And I have a great concern of the development of our playfields, in particular in Georgetown. And I know that we have been doing some repairs here and there. But my question this morning is there any plans to upgrade the facility where it is at Truman Bodin in terms of its track, in terms of bringing it to its international standards? There are a number of concerns where we have a lot of private institutions using the annex field for their sporting schedules, and it has been one that has been very overcrowded. So the question is there anything in the upcoming budget to help to enhance our public fields, particularly the Truman Bodin field, as well as the annex field? Because we have had a waiting period for a very long time. Mm-hmm. And I certainly would appreciate that something is in the pipeline for us. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful Friday.
Thank you, caller. Thank you, gentlemen.
Well, see, I know that's in another minister's remit, but I can just give you an update quickly on that. As I say, sometimes I think the cabinet room has to have a microphone because the Minister for Sports just updated us this week and really brought to our attention the challenges that the Truman Bodin complex is in. And I think Mr. DaCosta actually went out to look for himself, so he was actually able to come back and give us a full update on it also. Mm-hmm. And I know this is something that the Minister of Sports is actually advocating for, that we look at doing some major renovations over there because it is our national sports area. And from what I've been told and from what my colleague has told us, it is in dire need of some work, desperate work. And my colleague, he could probably speak to it a little bit more too, because being that he was just out there recently to take a look at it.
Yep. So I can say that Minister Rankin is definitely working towards ensuring that our national stadium in particular is upgraded and maintained properly. I went on a tour last week Friday of the stadium and saw the condition of certain things. We walked around the entire track. Minister Rankin could point out things. So he knows the issues. He feels the issues. He recognizes it. And he is definitely working on including the monies necessary in the budget to uplift our national stadium and bring it back to where it was. So it's not lost on us. This is another thing. We are on the ground. We don't just rely on reports. We go to the areas of concern and we investigate it ourselves. And everybody was on board when it was presented to caucus and cabinet last week or this week. This week, rather. So we had a discussion about it, and the minister has our full support to do the upgrades to replace the end-of-life material that's there.
The Mondo track.
The Mondo track in particular.
Yeah.
In particular, the Mondo track.
Okay, and the caller did mention these as public as opposed to private, because I believe in the news recently approval had been given to two entities in terms of upgrading playing facilities. I believe, I'm not sure if it's the Football Association that has, they're now looking to upgrade because of funding that they have received from, I guess, from FIFA in that regard as well. But yeah. Okay, gentlemen, what we'll do is we'll take our last commercial break now, and then when we return, we go straight through until 10 o'clock. If you have any questions, comments, we are sharing the comments that come in via WhatsApp. If you want to call in, you can as well. We just ask that you be brief as possible and, of course, respectful as well. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite band-aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. But don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superhero shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
It's a sizzling summer with Jay and Money. You can win a luxury weekend getaway for two when you send or receive money from now until September 30, 2025. That's right. We're turning up the heat this summer with Jay and Money. Visit www.jayandmoneyonline.com to learn more about how to win. What are you waiting for? Send, win, relax this summer with Jay and Money.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit CaymanAirways.com/cargo.
At Kirk's Home Center, we can make your life much better. We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you. From cookware to stereos, from power tools to plumbing supplies. Yeah, we got the best goods with the best price and a service to make you smile. At Kirk's Home Center, we got a great deal in store for you.
Good day, Cayman. This is Lucille Seymour. I warmly invite you to the annual Aging Forum, a free gathering to honor our older persons with joy and dignity. Join us on Saturday, September 20th from 1 to 7 p.m. at the Westin Governor's Ballroom. There'll be lunch, music, and meaningful conversation, a space to listen, share, and celebrate wisdom. All are welcome, families, caregivers, and friends. Let's come together in love and gratitude.
For the Record with ORRETT Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're on the last leg of the show this morning with Acting Deputy Premier, Honorable J. Ebanks, and the Honorable Nickolas DaCosta, who has responsibility for district administration and home affairs. We have one question. Our on a WhatsApp. Would you please ask the minister if there are plans to do a crosswalk in Savannah from Countryside to the road on the other side of where the other, I think, Country Corner Plaza is located?
OC, thank you. The short answer to that is yes, there's going to be some meaningful changes that are going to be happening to that intersection. I would say in probably the first part of the new year, once the new budget is in. But yes, we have actually taken into consideration, because that's something that several individuals have contacted me about, including I'm calling her my PS, Miss Heather. I guess she is my PS, Miss Heather, today being a minister for tourism. But yes, that's something that Miss Heather has been very vocal about, and how we can actually fit in pedestrian crossing, but how we actually look at allowing the buses to stop in that section, and actually about putting a bus stop in there, because we have one on one side but none on the other side of the road. So there are meaningful changes. We have designs to redo that whole intersection over. So I can tell you it will be coming in a short while to be able to get that sorted out. We've took care of the first phase, was to allowing the traffic to be able to turn into the post office coming out of Newlands, and then also we've separated the lane to actually where it used to go down to 2 lanes, but allowing that to go down to 1. That was the first little initial works of it until we can actually do the modifications to the roundabout or to that intersection there. But it will be built out to help with pedestrians to be able to cross from the grocery store side over to the gas station side, and then over to those that want to go over to Wendy's or wherever. So we are looking at the whole aspect of everything, of that whole thing. And because we do know, and the last couple of weeks or months, we've had several accidents actually just running straight into that wall that Country Corner is called. Yeah. I think it's at least 3 that I can remember just quickly. So, we realize it is something that has to be done, because it's not just a one-off. It's been multiple accidents happening there. So I can tell you, Edward has already taken on that and looking into that and getting a new design of that intersection.
Excellent. We're going to take our last 2 callers. We have 1 caller on WhatsApp. We have one caller on WhatsApp, 2 on the landline. Hope we can accommodate all of them. No promises. We won't make any promises, but if they can be brief, we will be able to accommodate you. Which caller are we taking first, Ms. Susan? Landline caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. For the Record.
Hey, good morning, Doc. How are you?
I'm fine. Good morning to the ministers.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
It is refreshing to hear that ministers are on the top of their game.
Thank you.
On top of things. It's really refreshing to live to hear that. Ministers, what I want to, I know I don't have a lot of time, but I was deputy chairman of the airport authority for over 13 years. First under Harden Watler, and then Mr. Dick Arch. We had plans to rebuild the airport, going up on the second floor, opening up covering the second floor, and expanding the airport on the air side and on the land side and on the east and west side. And we made a business case for a sole source provider, which was Arch and Godfrey, because they built the airport in 1984. After we had meetings with the Canadian people who come down and was asking a lot of money, and that we would have to give the airport control over to them, which we refused to do. Now, we even went so far. We had plans to the airport. We left the plans there when the government was dismissed and a new government came in, and we even had a letter of intent that we had written to Arch and Godfrey after we had gotten the blessing of the government through the Attorney General's Department, that we could do that once we had made a business case for a single source provider. I have all of the plans. I have all of the projections of the cost. It was going to cost us $4 million for 3 skyways or boring bridges up on the second floor. escalator down from the second floor to the bottom floor where the immigration where the customs would have been, and so forth and so forth. And there was going to be a extension of the airport runway in the North Sound. All of that was costed and calculated. It was discarded after a new government came in. Some of them claimed that they couldn't find the plans, and then one minister said, "Oh, the board and bridge is going to cost $20 million," which was not the case. Why is it that we don't sort of build on the success of the previous people? We don't do it with the previous generation, and we do it with the previous administrations that use their success and build on it. Now the airport. Now what they did with the airport now is become obviously again. I heard it this morning. They need more space to do this and to do that, and people are still getting wet coming on and off the airplane. Are there any plans to actually build a proper airport terminal where people can come off the airplane, don't get wet, and get onto the airplane and don't get wet? If you desire, I can share the things I have with you, all the projections, all the plans, all of the projections that Arch and Godfrey gave us, and the letter of intent that we have sent to them. And at the last minute, when the new government came in, they told us cease and desist, which they had no right to do, because the minister can give directions on the airport, but they cannot tell the airport authority whether they can build or expand or not. And another thing, we did not purchase the land around the airport that we had needed. And that because one minister before us had refused to pay $800,000 for the land that we need to expand the airport, just because a certain person had owned the land and didn't want to see that person with $800,000 in their pocket. And then when we went and asked the present occupier of the land now, who has it, they offered up for us only $14-15 million, which we didn't have the money in our budget to purchase it, and we would not have purchased it for that amount of money anyway. Why is it that we don't sit down and like you guys are doing now, and look for the best interest of the Caymanian people? Because I can tell you, Minister, what the United Kingdom planners did. They gave us a plan. They told us over 13 years ago that it would have been best to move the airport from where the location is today, because of the expansion, larger planes flying longer distances and carrying more people, and we did not have the area to expand. And then they decided that they had chosen for us out in the eastern part of the district was going to cost $200 million to build the airport. The minister wouldn't embark on that. Also, we spent a lot of money in the airport, and Little Cayman putting in roughing in a runway through there. Also, we renamed the airport. They came on Brack Airport to Cornell's Airport, and we had money aside to expand that into an international airport. What happened to all of those projects?
Okay, Doc, we'll have the ministers answer that in their closing comments. We're going to try to grab the last two callers before then. Next caller on the WhatsApp. Good morning. Please be as brief as possible. WhatsApp caller.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Osi.
Hey, morning.
Ramos speaking. Morning, ministers.
Good morning.
Yeah, Mr. Osi, my floor, rather. Right, figuratively, in the drill, right? When it comes to the counter arguments, the pretext and excuse political tainted with a dump in prisons. First of all, right, in prison, right, it makes you or breaks you. Right? In the prison, the government owns you, it's a number. Personified persona. Right? Most procurators, the affairs or prosecutions, you're obligated for the judiciary. Prison is a place of pain, you deal with it. Right? First of all, the prison it a missile, right? It a problem. Okay? And it's a big fail government bureaucracy. Right? You either privatize it, give a profit motive, or go into process a profit motive. You feel me? And With the national question about the referendum, right? It's a coherent policy. Decriminalization, prerequisite to coordination, right? So you got to enhance the possession of thresholds aligned with the drug enforcement laws, right? And then it said it aligned with the regional, right? And then finally, with the current admin, the trifecta at this point, include the opposition, it's easy to pass, and then see this agenda. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Rambo. Last caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yeah, good morning. To the ministers and Mr. Osi, good morning.
Good morning.
From 2012, my family, ancestors had some land in the Brat, and a road went through my land, my ancestors' land. The block and parcel number is 106A1. I work for government, and I do not want to call my name out, but my number is 916-1757, and I'm glad that the two ministers are on now, because when the former minister was on, there were a lot of promises. They went through the land. They keep on telling me that it's not gazetted yet, and now for the first part of this year, I found out that they're coming down through my land again, coming down by the creek area there, and going through our land again and taking a next little piece now. So this has been going on from 2012. Telling me that it's not gazetted. Now I know it's gazetted, and I put in a claim from 2012, and they told me I could only claim on my 1/5 share of that land, whereas my grandmother I found out my grandmother who gave me the land, she was the administrator of all the land. So when I claimed in 2012 the A form, when I put in the A form, I was of the assumption that I'm claiming for all of my other family members. I come to find out that it's only the 1/5 share that I could claim on.
So each member has a claim separately? Caller?
Didn't know about that.
Mm-hmm.
No? Yeah, they anyhow, the road is 50 feet long. It's near something like that on the bluff.
Mm-hmm.
And they called me. I went up there. I saw it. I took a video of it. I did talk to Mr. J briefly about it. He put me back on to Miss Julie. We flew up there. We went over everything. They told me to put in my claims. I put in my claims, and I'm hearing nothing now from nobody.
Okay. Let's see. Thank you very much, caller. Let's see if we can get a response in relation to that. And of course, I'm sure that neither of you want to, give out people's personal details, on the phone as well. On the radio as well. But as much as can be said about it.
OC, I think I know who the caller is.
Mm-hmm.
I briefly remember talking to him about this. And I think this was done from the last administration. And when I had actually, and he was correct when I told him that he needs to talk to the premier at the time about it, because land actually wrote the Cayman Brac roads and the lands acquisitions and everything was under the premier at that time. OC, but I'll ask my team to look at it. I've got the caller's number here, and we'll see what we can do to help expedite this process for him, in any way that we can help.
Yep. Same. I thank you for the call. As Minister Ebanks said, I took down the notes. I've noted the BP for the proposed road and what's been done. So I'm sure that I'll speak with Minister Ebanks on seeing how we can resolve it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. I want to give both of you gentlemen an opportunity for some closing comments. I just want to say to those listeners who wrote in questions, I have passed them on to the relevant minister as well. For instance, the one in relation to Seymour Drive, also known as Dump Road, that has been noted. He's gotten information on that about getting a drainage well in that area as well. So we'll start with you, Minister DaCosta.
Sure, OC. Thank you very much. Once again, it's been a pleasure being on the radio. this morning with you and the Acting Deputy Premier, Minister Ebanks, and to speak to the people of the country. It's my time in office has been great thus far. There's a lot of work going on. We're progressing a lot of policy work, legislation reform. We spoke about the prison this morning, but one thing that the ministry is also looking at is from the other point of view for the victims. We are progressing the policy work on victim rights legislation and victim rights support. So that is, we are seeking to strike the balance in addressing the issues on both sides. District administration is another area that we're working heavily on to upskill our people there that are currently in the internship programs, in the road crew, people that we care deeply about, and to progress the infrastructure across the sister islands. So there's a lot of work to be done. There's a lot of work going on, and the work won't stop. So I once again thank the people of Kimmebrack and Little Cayman for the opportunity to be here to work on behalf of them, but also the value I place on working on behalf of the people of the Cayman Islands with such an important portfolio as it pertains to national security. So thanks again for the opportunity, and it's been a pleasure.
Thanks for being here, Minister, Acting Deputy Premier. Sorry.
No problem, OC. Thank you, OC. I just want to thank my colleague for coming on the show with me today. I'm not sure if this was his first day on the show, first time on the show here.
First time since the election, yeah.
Yeah. I will ask him to come on to the show more often with me. But
no problem.
OC, I want to really just say I've had the opportunity to work alongside Mr. DaCosta 3 years ago, and when he was actually in the caucus secretary. And something from then, I know I kept saying it to him that I think he was going to make a great politician one of these days. And yes, his day has come. And I just want to tell the people of the BRAC that they are well represented when it comes to Mr. DaCosta.
Thank you.
He is on the ball. He is always prepared. And I can tell you, your pencil has to be sharpened when you're coming up against him to make sure, because you can know that he has done his homework when he's coming to the table. So I just want to applaud him, right, and tell him that the future is very bright, and I could tell the Kimmebrack people that they are in good hands, just like what the commercial said, all state.
Thank you.
All state.
All DaCosta.
They're in good hands. So, OC, I just want to go back quickly to when Dr. Steve called in. Dr. Steve, I will be reaching out to you to see if we can have a chat quickly about this information and some of the drawings and stuff that you have, because that is something that we're looking at right now. We're at that crossroad to decide whether on the direction of how the government is going to go when it comes to the airport authority. I just got in the numbers for the phases of the build-out for the airport. I am going to be carrying them to cabinet shortly for a direction on which phase that we want to look at going. But it would be very nice to be able to see, because the numbers that Dr. Steve just gave briefly is a way difference in the numbers that I'm getting. So I would love to see what they had envisioned back then, and I can tell you, we would have did the country a lot of service if we had did it back then.
Amen.
But this is one thing that we want to continue to do, is make sure that we're giving the people a good experience, but not only the people, the visitors, but the Caymanians that are coming through the airport, that service too, and providing them with a jetway. So that's something that we're going to be looking into. OC, I just want to give a quick update too, that
sure,
there's going to be some changes coming. As you may know, that the safety standards was passed in the last administration of I think maybe the last sitting in Parliament, and now we're looking at just amending the regulations for the breaches of some of the safety standards. But a lot of these trucks that run around with the loud Jake's brakes has been basically terrorizing all the neighborhoods and everybody else, that I can tell you that there will be fines going forward and breaches for those that utilize truck brakes coming out shortly. So I just want to make that announcement so that people are aware that in the future that they will be fined if they're found using Jake's brakes carelessly. OC, again, We've taken down a lot of things. I know my team is behind the door listening, and they've been making notes of every single thing. I'm happy. I'm glad that the minister was here with me today to be able to give the country an update from the prison side of things, because those were a few callers that we had the last time, and we want to make sure that they have an update. Everything else is moving smoothly. I think once we get over this budget now and we know what the numbers look like and able to get to it, then I think it's on to the race to get a lot of this work done for the people of the Cayman Islands.
Full speed ahead.
And this government, I can tell you, this government is committed to getting what it's necessary to get any legislation, but any works, but any infrastructure that it is that needed, that the people have been asking for. It is a government of the people. It's a government that listens to the people. That's why that's why we're here today. We're not shying away from the phone calls or anything. We want to be open with our people, as we always continue to say all the time. At least this is how I know my scorecard. If the people say that I'm not doing that good, then I need to know where part I need to fix my points and stuff and move forward.
Yep.
But all of the ministers are very eager to get on the radio shows and continue to be engaged, to keep the people engaged in what's happening. And it is something that we've asked all of our ministers each day, that every week that there's a new minister that will come on to be able to update the people on what's new, what's happening. And OC, thank you so much. I know we went over your show a little bit.
Thank you.
I got a meeting for 10:15 and then another one at 10:30. So it's a busy day again for Friday.
Okay.
But thank you so much. And to all the birthday people, shout out, have a happy birthday. As again, you know who you are. We don't have to call your names, but to my fellow north sider there that has a birthday, Stoker, coming up tomorrow, I'm gonna have to stop by to see you, see what you have, what's going on out there. So if you see me popping by and blowing a horn, please come up. Treat me as is my birthday too.
Okay, thank you for making yourselves available as well. I'll just welcome our listeners to join me at 12:15 for Talk today. Have a great day, and may God continue to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. Doctor's Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. Kirk Market, experience a world of choice. JN Money, from abroad to Yad. And Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
If they are talking about us,
living in your head rent-free all this time,
we must be relevant. Radio Cayman since 1970.